Welcome back. Rod Moore from Profit Minute with you again. Now we're going to talk about key number 2 to developing your business plan for success in your small business. Now key number 2, I think this is the biggest challenge facing all small business owners right now today, and definitely moving forward into the future it's going to get even more challenging regarding this particular topic. And what I'm talking about, well, before I tell you what I'm exactly talking about, let me just share with you some observations of what's happening in the marketplace. You know, over the last 8 years, the barriers to entry for small business owners has come right down. You know, like 8 years ago, there was a lot of people getting into small business, micro business, home-based business. But today, I would say it's 20 times the rate of growth in small business ownership today. There's a whole lot of factors for it, but essentially the barriers to entry have come down. In other words, it's easier than ever before to start a small business right now today. So as a result of that, more and more people are coming into small business. Now, I believe the rate of growth of small business is going to accelerate for a whole host of reasons, but primarily, just look at the global economic situation right now today. Right now it's early 2012, and if you look at what's happening in Europe with the debt crisis, if you look at what's happening in the USA with their debt crisis and the potential for hyperinflation and all the issues that are happening economically globally, plus the fact that baby boomers are all now entering retirement, I believe many of those baby boomers won't be able to afford their retirement and will be coming into small business. So the number of small business owners is going to increase dramatically. What that means to you and why this is a challenge is simply this: clutter. C-L-U-T-T-E-R. Clutter. What happens is the more and more businesses that come into the marketplace, it doesn't matter what field you're in, personal trainer, web designer, accountant, business coach, does not matter, marketing consultant, every field, we're finding there's more and more businesses entering those fields, especially in service-based business. Now, this is not necessarily true if you have a high capital investment requirement, maybe you need a manufacturing plant for your business. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about service-based business. There is an exponential growth in the number of people coming into this type of business right now. And all of that leads to one thing: clutter, marketing clutter. Every one of those businesses out there pushing their message out to the marketplace, and they're creating this noise, this marketing noise. It's like white noise, like on the TV. It's marketing clutter that you have to cut through. The only way your business will be successful today and moving forward is if you're able to rise above the clutter. If you don't do that, all you're doing is contributing to the clutter. So there's a number of steps you have to take to be able to rise above the clutter. You only have to jump on Facebook or Twitter and look at the volume of marketing messages on a minute-by-minute basis to see evidence of what I'm talking about. Now, the more marketing messages that are out there in the marketplace, the less the marketplace will respond to them. They become immune to them. They start to switch off. Now, if you think marketing clutter was bad 10 years ago, you wait on the next 10 years. We are developing more and more ways of reaching the marketplace with more and more marketing messages, and less of the marketplace is actually paying attention. There's too much clutter. So you have a decision to make as a business owner. That decision is simply this: do you want to contribute to the clutter and ultimately fail in your business, or do you want to rise above the clutter and become a unique voice that's heard in the market above all others? That's the only two options you've got. You can't be mediocre with your marketing message moving forward from this point forward into the future, because the clutter is only going to get worse. So a couple of keys. I wrote a blog post on this recently. A couple of keys for you on how you can rise above the clutter. The first, and probably pretty obvious one, is to stop trying to market broadly and generally and narrow right down to a very specific niche market where you can become the dominant voice, and that niche market understands that you are the expert, the specialist in that very tight niche. Okay, that's the first thing you can do to rise above the clutter. Now, most small business owners think if I narrow down my market, I'm reducing my opportunities. But in reality, the more specialist, on purpose, focused within a tight niche market that you become, the bigger your opportunities become. Right now, you've got to pick a niche market where there's more than 10 businesses in it, right? Or 10 prospective clients. It's got to be deep enough that you can build the business that you're looking for, but focus it right down, and you'll find that there's actually an abundance of clients who will be attracted to you, because today everyone's looking for a specialist, right? They're looking for somebody who specializes in what they think is their particular special problem, right? So that's the first thing you can do to rise above the clutter. The second thing is, we live in a world today where everybody entering small business has this tendency to call themselves an expert. We live in, a world today where the overnight expert is becoming more popular than practically any growth sector in small business today. And you'll see this where they put, Australia's leading expert in blank, whatever it is, right? And sure, there are a lot of experts out there, but let me tell you this. Calling yourself an expert and having really great branding that says you're an expert does not make you an expert. If you want to truly have the advantage of expert positioning in the marketplace, you truly need to be an expert. So you need to have a plan in place where you're developing your expertise on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis, right? Now, in the Attraction Marketing System 2.0, I go through a whole module around developing your expert positioning, doing what experts do. How does the marketplace make up its mind that you're an expert? Well, there are certain steps that real experts have taken, and you can model these steps and become a genuine expert in the marketplace. There's no point calling yourself an expert unless you have a level of expertise, because I'll tell you why. Today, the marketplace is smarter than ever before. You can jump on Google. Your average prospect probably knows almost as much about your particular area of expertise as you do, right? And if you're not a genuine expert, you'll be found out real soon. So you need to develop genuine expertise to rise above the clutter. And you need to demonstrate that expertise, and you need to feed back the results of your expertise to your marketplace consistently, so that they come to believe that you are a genuine expert. Don't be an overnight expert where you just have water and, hey, I'm an expert. Calling yourself an expert, it's not going to make you an expert who genuinely stands out from the crowd. You need to become an expert. So if you want to be an expert on leadership in mid-sized business, you genuinely need to be one. You need to be investing in your expertise, constantly developing your level of expertise. You can't just say that's what I want to be and expect anyone to believe you. You're just not going to be congruent in the marketplace. You need to become the expert and continually develop your expertise. So don't be an overnight, just add water expert. Become a real expert, and you'll rise above the clutter. In Key 3, I'm going to talk to you about what I think is the ultimate success factor for small business. So I'll see you in the next video.